I don't know who joined us because he's only got a question mark.
Yeah.
Just have a question mark.
Every once in a while, you have to treat Mo's text messaging like it's his first day with a smartphone.
There's nothing I can do if the text doesn't show up. Like
here's just instinctively what I would do. If it linked to something that showed nothing, I would scroll up going, oh, clearly the messages need to load.
I did.
That's just obvious. Like that seems so obvious.
I never saw the message.
Or just like, hey, it didn't come through. Instead of just a question mark. I don't understand what the question mark was
because
for.
Also with this group, the number of jokes and we want to and everybody just wants to crack a joke and whatnot. I didn't know if you were signaling like we're not doing anything because all I saw was just blank.
It
was a reply to blank.
More
so you were trying to be helpful.
Kettle.
I was wrong. So yeah,
more hot kettle than him saying, "Yeah, well, this group people like to crack jokes and just not answer anything."
And of all the people in the group, also like me being the joke person is not like the highest probability either. Yes,
maybe you wanted to have you were trying to be funny. Listen, it happened. I'm sorry. We move on. I got the answer. We're going.
Can I just ask what version iOS your phone is running?
I'm up to date on it. I'm up to date on the. I even looked. I'm up. It says I'm up to date. Okay. I'm up to date on the Mac. That's why I was confused.
You did a factory reset? Have you ever reset your phone since you bought it?
I cleaned my whole laptop the other day. It didn't even show up on the laptop. So, and the iMessage on laptop. So,
what the fuck is happening?
I'm joking.
Classic cold open.
I'm just trying to find this fucking
open. Are you kidding me? Spice levels are high right now.
Spicy.
Why wouldn't it just have a link to download? That's what I understand.
We got a lot to hit.
I know. Today. Yeah, it's kind of annoying.
We got a lot going on. There's the NBA playoffs. There's the NFL draft. There's Zach finally catching up to Shogun and finishing Shogun.
I'm all the way through.
Over this week.
I didn't see the last episode yet, so.
Cool. So we can't talk about it because of Mo. Also,
I could bounce. You could talk about it. I could bounce. You could talk about it.
We'll save it for later. But I do want to talk about Shogun today because we have been circling the waters for a long time on that one.
Yeah.
Stalling? I don't know if we've been stalling.
We've been teasing.
That would imply that we're going to talk about it. Of intent to delay. I think we've just been delayed.
We've been teasing it.
No, but Shogun was a show that I think everybody just kind of got to slowly. In that everybody wanted to watch it, and then nobody really, when it first came out, jumped in to watch it. Right, yeah. It took a while for people to jump into it. I mean, I think that was kind of the case with how the show.
You're talking about Zach specifically? Yes.
I think it was just me. Yeah.
No. It was a lot of people I knew who kept going like, "Oh, I got to watch that. Oh, I got to watch that." And then when they finally, now Zach took a particular amount of time, and thank you, Zach, for cataloging the length of every episode.
Thank you for your service, Zach.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
But like,
did I get to the last one? I don't know.
I was going to follow up and say, did we get a full report down to the last episode? I know we got to the penultimate episode.
You know let me put it in the chat.
I would really appreciate if you could
just
update.
To be official.
Maze is so done with us right now.
No, I don't understand why he doesn't like me giving information.
He's so bad.
So 10.
I've been not engaging with any of this. It's been weeks now since I've not engaged with this Shogun length of the episode bullshit. I just sit here and I drink my coffee and I hope that it goes away and that
are you under the impression Are you under the impression that I am making these numbers up? You call it
No.
Okay. I don't understand
the
problem.
teacher's mad at us, you guys.
Zach, do you do this in the Cinephobe chat? Like start giving the runtime of movies?
I didn't do fucking shit.
I'm asking if you do this in the Cinephobe chat.
No, this is a Shogun special. Although, wait, did you might have...
You've done this with other shows. You might have said the length
of a different show. I can't remember. I just know that the Shogun one is taken over. Mm-hmm. But...
And if you're only listening, you need to watch the clip because Maze's face has been priceless over the last 2 minutes trying to get control of the classroom.
I'm not trying to get control over the classroom. I'm not.
It's just really weird that he has such a problem with it.
I like when Zach states facts that I could easily find out myself if I wanted to know them. And I don't care. And I've watched all the episodes, so I know how long they are. Oh, wasn't it 3 Body Problem? You were telling us how long those were too.
Yeah, but I haven't watched those yet to confirm.
We can't confirm those.
Zach goes with the stopwatch. When do you start with the watch? Like the moment you hit play and the Netflix thing comes up, or do you wait till
on the screen?
The first credit? Oh, okay.
It's on the screen.
Gotcha. Fair enough.
Yeah.
I thought you would maybe not trust it, and for accuracy's sake, time it yourself.
That Shogun was a show that you thought people like took their time to get to or whatever. So for you, it's not a show. It wasn't an urgent watch. Obviously, you haven't watched the finale yet. It didn't feel like something that you had to get to right away.
No, like I wanted to watch it right. Like when I first saw it, I said, "Oh, I'm in. I'm watching it. Oh, Shogun's out. Okay, I'll get to it." It's part of it too. Is like by the time I sit down and get ready to watch a TV show, it's like 10:30, 11 at night, and like I'm falling asleep, so I'm not going to put on Shogun.
It's full attention. You need to pay attention and read everything because of the subtitles.
And I'm watching it with Jamie, so it's like when we both are. If she has a long day at work and she's tired and the playoffs or whatever, like it takes a minute. So you got to kind of find the right time. And again, the episodes are an hour long and there's a good chance I'll fall asleep.
Are they an hour long though?
Well,
not all of them. Not all of them.
I'm sorry, man. I couldn't help myself.
Nice try. No, that was a good try. I saw your lip quivering as you tried to get through that one with a straight face. It was good. I liked your effort there. That was good work. I think the Zach Eden alliance is really, really. And you want to talk about Shogun, like alliances, like power struggles and like brokering.
We've known each other for trades. Like what, 7 years?
We've only been doing the show for 7 years or something. Yeah. I just
yes, and when the two of you are aligned, that is a dangerous combination.
I don't understand the implication.
Combination.
Great.
I think it's I think we have really great comedic timing, if you ask me.
I like that Zach says that it's Drake now.
Just I want to clear up any confusions. It's not OBK
you're
Fix
really
from
taking this
Future Sport.
Fact delivery quite literally. You are a fact machine.
It's election season. You know, I'm just trying to make sure that we're all on the right page. Okay.
Get Zach on Woke Bros to fact check.
Honest podcaster.
Get him in there. Let's talk a little bit about Wos on Wednesday, Zach, because I listened to the beginning of Group Chat, which came out at night, and I thought like, oh, you know, maybe we got that Wos on Wednesday because he was fired up because he hadn't potted yet that day.
No, we revved his ass up.
But then he came on Group Chat at night and was dropping bars too. Mm-hmm. So it was a Wos day. It was a Wos Wednesday.
Wos was just
damn, 5 dudes. Oh my God, 5 dicks. Damn.
You know, sometimes somebody has the hot hand and you just gotta clear out and feed him the rock. And that was he was doing voices. He was doing characters. Mm-hmm. He was calling Demo a fraud. He was going after LeBron, and then the best part, Zach, was that he praised Joe Mazzulla. And then what happened that night? Joe Mazzulla laid an egg,
lectured me about not having Joe Mazzulla top 3 in my Coach of the Year ballot. Lecture.
I raised it because I was like, normally a coach on the best team would be in the conversation. It's funny that he's not. And Wos is like, yeah, he should be in the top 3. Right. Like he should be up there. Right.
Is this just because he works with the Ringer now and he has to have a Boston slant?
There's probably some of that, but yeah, like and then issued a formal apology on Twitter hours later.
Mo, what was it a lack of adjustments? What happened to Joe Mazzulla on Wednesday night?
I mean, it's
got cultured.
Not so much just lack of adjustment, but it's just Spo. Just Spo. Spo just said, all right, this is what we're going to do. And then they don't adjust. The Celtics don't adjust. They don't have adjustments. When have we ever seen him adjust? So I think that's kind of the big thing was, okay, they changed. Celtics didn't. Spo kicked his ass.
Spo cultured his ass.
So Coach Bud Budenholzer, he was really the I don't adjust guy, right? He held that belt for a while. Is that now Mazzulla?
Well, yeah.
Like we're just going to run our shit.
Doc doesn't adjust a whole lot either. Tibbs doesn't really adjust a whole lot.
Tibbs a lot of coaches don't.
Yeah, Tibbs is just like his players are just really smart now, right? Like this is a smart team, and so I think they kind of adjust things on the fly within the concepts of what they're doing, which I think is probably ideal anyway. You want players who can kind of play around with some of the principles. Yeah.
Just in that sense. But like as Zach said, like a lot of coaches don't really make a ton of adjustments. Like there's not like Spo. I think Ty Lue eventually makes adjustments. I think he waits a little longer. I'm not Michael Malone, but it's also hard to tell if it's an adjustment or just Jokic is so goddamn good. There's not a lot of them that make just great adjustments. I think Chris Finch does a good job with it, but
yeah, Finch is good.
But after that, it's not a lot.
All right. I like that basketball talking. You know who does make an adjustment? Wos adjusts. He adjusts his position on
to
Joe
whatever
Mazzulla.
Pandering is necessary.
Whoever he has to pander to. I dropped a Pander Express in the group chat earlier this week.
I really need him to have a meeting or just a run-in with Daryl Morey anytime next month. So badly. Oh my God. That would be the best.
Oh, Demo, my man, I love you. Oh,
we need to send him to Philly. Can we please send him to Philly? Please send him to Philly.
I mean, he did tee off on the Philly fans as well, and that was also just the New York coming out. Like there was clearly some heavy Atlantic Coast bias there, but you love to see it. You love to see a feisty Wos in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Friday Mailbag. It's Friday. We got Mo, Eden, and Zach, and we got a lot of questions. We got a lot to talk about. Captain Trips asks, do you prefer a job where you can never get everything done and feel like you have to work overtime / off the clock to finish, take shit home, etc., or a job where there's long stretches of nothing to do but wait for something to come up?
I've never once experienced the latter, if I'm being honest. Like, I think it would be fun to experience because I've never experienced it.
I did at the Court of Appeals. I could get most of my work done in the first couple of hours, and then I was just waiting for stuff to come in, and then I worked on a website and got a writing career out of it. So it definitely
That's exactly what I was thinking. I was like, if you had a job where you only had to like do like 2 hours of work in an 8-hour day, and you got paid for those 8 hours, and you could do something else in those 8 hours and like just maybe check in. I'm like,
That's basically what it was. There was
so much content I would be streaming all the time. Like,
like I would like you would get most things done by 10:30, and then like there was stuff to do, but there was like maybe a rush of stuff like from 1 to 2, and then you'd have to do something from 3 to 4. But there was so much downtime. You could find shit to do, but also like everyone there works so slowly, and I would just like bust out these and I'm like, what is everyone doing? But then it was a state job. Yeah. So then I'm just going to sit in my cubicle, and then every once in a while my supervisor would come by and she's like, can you like, are you doing anything right now? There's maybe stuff to do, whatever. And I'm like, there ain't shit to do. I did it all. I don't know what to tell you. Like this is
it's like, what are you guys working on over there? Are you guys not asking ChatGPT to help you guys write your whatever you need? Like emails, like what's taking y'all so long? I don't understand.
It was wild to me how like inefficient everybody was. I'm like, this shit is so easy.
Yeah,
but they realized that they could put in 25% effort,
sure,
and get through the same amount of shit in a day, and etc.
Comparatively, the last 2 days, Wednesday and Thursday.
Yeah.
No, this is not an exaggeration. I have worked 33 hours. I have been fucking crazy busy beyond what is like what I can even. As soon as we're done with this podcast for the next 2 days, because I'll have to write the newsletter Sunday night.
Clocking
the next 2 days,
off.
I am getting unreasonably high and doing fuck nothing.
Hell yeah.
Doing absolutely nothing.
Also
like,
known as the Katie.
You need
I'm gonna get super high and clean, and then I'm just gonna.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I'm gonna do absolutely nothing.
That's the Katie Chernobyl special right there.
You are aware the first playoff game today starts at 2:30.
I could give a fuck. I could give a fuck that all 3 games are on today. I could give a fuck. I'll watch it at some point.
Is it 0, bitch?
I'm not breaking it down. This
0
panic
emojis.
meter. We done unplugged this panic meter. It's done.
Can we get negative emojis? Like we need.
Oh my god! Yeah.
Like is there -5 emojis? Whatever it is.
The Z's, the sleeping, that shit.
Z's. I'm sorry.
Good one. Great job.
Hello, exposition.
No, wrong button. That one. That's the button I wanted. That's
I accidentally wrote my rent check for 2023. I have to change that, right?
Probably don't, but
it just yeah. I'll just write it.
Does your check have like
if you haven't sent it yet?
You're still writing rent checks?
They will not do an electronic payment. It's
I have
insane.
to do one as well.
It's insane. The last 3 places I've lived will not do any kind of electronic payment.
That's pretty cool.
What's the reason?
I had to order checks just for rent. I was out of check. I had to order checks just for rent.
Yeah, that's
dog. I have a stack of checks from 2012.
Yeah, I finally ran out like a year ago, and then
from when you first opened your bank account ever.
Yes, they have my first Los Angeles address on it.
Yeah, and then they came like late, so like I was out and I couldn't write a check for rent, and they're like, well, you know, it's late now. That is a stack, man.
Oh
I was like, oh, cool. I can put SF Giants on it and put my address on there. You need some more checks? I can give you some checks. I mean, we got checks. You want like 1,000 checks?
I literally said, I will Venmo you. I'll sell you whatever. Like, but the checks aren't here yet. What do you want me to do? And they're like, well, you know, like we really need this rent. I was like let me pay you in 2023.
Yeah.
Like this was last year. I'm like, let me pay you in a time of today.
Yeah.
I will do it.
They have to be in the pocket of the banks to keep the check printing business alive. Like they have to be. This is a conspiracy, I think. All landlords have to do that.
Look, they sent me a book to put these checks in.
That I know, like it's usually like kind of hard to find the setting. Like I know in the Bank of America app, it's like a ridiculously hidden setting, but you can set something to, if you're sending the same check to like your rent every month, it's probably the same address, right? Like same payee or whatever, payee, same amount. You can set it up in automation so your bank will send a check for you.
I guarantee they won't. I guarantee they wouldn't take it. They'd be like, it has to be in the Dropbox at the bill. I guarantee they would find some reason not to do it.
Yeah.
They're the worst. I cannot wait to move out of this place.
Let's make it as hard as possible for you to pay your rent. We need the money, but we want to make it as hard as possible.
I just can't understand it. Yeah.
The other thing is they should really just give you, account number and routing number, and you should just do a
automatic payment,
a transfer, direct deposit, whatever.
Any current mode, anything from fucking 15 years ago would work.
Like, there you go. So Zach, here's what you do: is get them to send you a check for some reason, and then you'll get their info, and then you can just plug it into the computer.
There you go. Yeah.
Overpay them by like $5.
They have to write you a check.
They have to write you a check for $5.
That's a good idea.
And then you'll have their banking info, and you can just plug that into the computer. These problem solved.
Probably send me like a money order or something.
They'll probably just not pay you back.
Right. They would definitely not. They would definitely not mention it. I guarantee.
You'd have to follow up with a notarized letter a couple days later saying, "Hi, actually, I overpaid my rent."
Notary,
yes. And now you're waiting for some jackass at the court, and now we've come full circle to your original job. But I mean, I don't feel like there are jobs where there's not more you can do. Like at the grocery store, there were people
always
who
something,
didn't do shit.
Right.
But
what's this? It's like you would say this when I was doing retail. It's like if there's time to lean, there's time to clean.
There's always something to clean. Yeah. There's always something to clean. Like at Abercrombie, it was anytime you have any downtime. Oh, why don't we take down all the shelves and clean behind it?
Oh my God.
I feel that way in the house.
Yeah.
I don't. I just lay down on the couch, but I'm like, I probably should be cleaning.
There's time for Mo to lie down. Then there's definitely
so a similar thing that I thought of that was like an adjacent thought from Zach's landlord only accepting checks is why do doctors, dentists, anywhere you have to make an appointment, have they not heard of calendar booking services that are like available everywhere online?
Thank you.
I can name 10 off the top of my head, and I still have to call to make an appointment. There was one time
my dentist won't take it. They won't do it. Yeah.
My dentist had like a form on their website that says book an appointment. So I click on book the appointment, right? And I think I'm going to be taken to like a place where I can select my appointment time. And it just takes me to a contact form. And then so I write it in and I email, like I'm right in because I'm like, I don't want to call. And then they called me back. I'm like, why would I want a call back if I emailed you? I clearly I don't want to talk to you on the phone. Why do you have this communication platform available on your site if you're not even going to utilize it? Like also just fucking get a calendar booking service.
Yes. Also, I hate the call to confirm the appointment.
Oh, that's the worst.
The day before. I literally I was supposed to have a physical last month, and they called to I think I was podcasting. I don't know. They called. I didn't call back. I show up for the appointment. Like, oh, we canceled your appointment because you didn't confirm. I'm like, what the fuck is that?
The confirmation is when I made the appointment.
What the fuck is that?
When I made the appointment, I confirmed it.
When I was in front of you at the doctor's office and I wrote it and I said, okay, what time? And I was clearly putting it in my phone. That's the confirmation I need.
But not even that. Like I've never I'll get the text message to confirm or whatever. And if I haven't or whatever, they've never canceled. I've never had that where they canceled.
And if you text me, it's like push 1 to confirm. I'll do that every time.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But I'm all for Eden being like the minister of efficiency or some sort of position here. And we can campaign on this. I'm for Eden to work around, check every industry and start finding a ways to make them more efficient for everybody. I'm done. I'm good. I'm ready to make this your job, Eden. Let's go.
Mm-hmm. Ironically though, minister of efficiency spells Mo.
No, we know I'm not that.
That's not. Yeah.
It needs to be another
question
Mo.
Mark?
It needs to be another Mo. It cannot be me.
I'm not Mo. I'm question mark. I don't know who this Mo guy is. All right. Yeah. I mean, if you're getting paid the same, sure, let the job be the same. If the thing about the standardizing of booking though, Eden, is how often as minister of efficiency, how often are you requiring people to like go through training or learn whatever the new system is? Is it yearly? I'm just asking.
Okay. I would say it, depending on what it is, because some software moves a lot faster than others. Like it would have to depend. Like Calendly, it hasn't made that many changes in like the last 2 years. It's pretty solid using a calendar booking thing, for an example. Like, and it's also something that the features that they're adding tend to not be focused on the core service that it provides. And if you're using it for that core service, then you don't really need to keep up with the other features. But if you are, if you are using all of the other features, they are probably continually adding things that will expedite your efficiency. So I would say at least every 6 months. And software, it tends to just move faster now than it did 5 years ago.
All right, let's stay on this subject of efficiency. This is going to drive our minister up the wall here.
Oh, no.
We got to fled.
Oh, no.
What's the longest you've ever waited in line for food? An ice cream parlor near me is closing after 40 years, and I waited almost 2 hours to eat their ice cream one last time.
2 hours? No, 2 hours is crazy. To be in line just waiting for something?
No.
I guess like if this is like something super nostalgic to you, like this, you grew up eating this ice cream, this special place in your heart, like I can understand that. But I'm also like, I specifically chose to live where I live because I like that I have a lot of options. Like there is no reason I should have to stand in line for more than like, I will wait 30 to 40 minutes is average wait for a table if you don't have a reservation. Mm-hmm. Like I'll do that. But like anything longer than that, I'm like the cost benefit analysis of how much better is this food going to be versus like this spot, like a block over, because it's not in the hottest part of K-Town. It's in the, outskirts of K-Town, is it going to really be that much better to be worth my time? And my answer is usually not. It's not worth it. The cost benefit analysis.
It's crazy when you're like going out to dinner with someone, you don't have a reservation, right? And you go to a place like, it's like a 30-40 minute wait, and they're like, should we try somewhere else? I'm like, yo, by the time we get over there, it's not like it's not gonna,
we will have already been seated.
Let's just do the 30-40 minutes here.
Yeah. It's like if we should have planned ahead and just gotten a reservation, if I'm being honest. And restaurants, if you're listening, if you're one of those places that's in demand, just get a reservation system. There's plenty of them out there. Also, speaking of apps that can help out with that.
Some of those places suck. Some of the reservation systems suck because it's
what's the one? Open Table. Open Table's great. Everyone get Open Table.
But it's like the if you're trying to get to a certain restaurant and it's like, okay, we open our reservations up at midnight, and then they don't. It's annoying as all hell. And then it's like you're like, well, what the fuck? I waited here, to get this reservation. I waited up to do all this, and this is bullshit. And then it's just because somebody sends in their switch. It's that simple. And it's like, and then randomly at 7 a.m. they decide to do it, and you're like, what? It's too. I need this to be more exact.
That's
Again,
user
Minister,
error,
I need you to make this more efficient. Then this is on you.
Yeah, that's user error.
This is where I expect to see changes from our minister to make these things happen.
Man, Mo elected you and is now already putting your re-election up into question.
I was about to say.
She's gonna make it. I trust Eden on this. She's gonna make it work. Maybe the one place I've Zach, how long have we waited in line at Secret Pizza? I don't feel like it's that long, but the line looks long.
Long, but it's quick because it's slices of pizza.
Maybe 45 minutes. Right. Like we've been there a long time before, but also like you're just bullshitting. You're standing there. It is moving.
I was going to say, it depends on also the vibe. Like, because there are situations like if it's like a slice, for example, it's like the line is moving fast. You're getting your food pretty quickly after you get there. Like I can accept it then. But yeah, I personally, like I said, I strategically chose where to live so I wouldn't have to like be so reliant. I used to live somewhere where there were not very options, and it was the bane of my existence. And so I strategically changed that.
I've talked about this before, but I've waited 3 hours for barbecue in Austin. But like I said, that's a vibe. People bring chairs, people bring coolers. Yeah. You hang out. It's not standing there waiting for ice cream.
You knew what you were getting into.
I knew what I was getting. I knew that it was top quality barbecue and that I wanted it. So like that to me is the exception. There is a new restaurant around my neighborhood that is disgusting. We're talking 3-hour waits for dinner. That's 3 hours. It's absurd and it's packed. That's the thing that I don't understand. And
do they not offer reservations? That's the thing I don't understand.
I think they do, but the reservations are booked out.
Oh, so it's just a long walk-in line.
It's a brand new restaurant. And so they opened and they were like, if you want a reservation, it's like 2 months or something, or 3 months. I don't even know. I haven't tried. And then if you don't want a reservation and you try to walk in, if you get there at 4 and put your name down, like you might sit down by 7:38.
Yeah, and there's a pizza place here that's like that. Yeah.
That's an instant turnoff for me. I'm not fucking playing your game.
Can I ask, like, what is it special?
My girlfriend likes to joke that it's Chevy's. Because it's like Mexican, but like upscale.
Oh, Chevy's. Okay, gotcha.
It's like fresh Mex, Mexican.
Dude, back in the day, Chevy's got it done, man.
I fucked with the Chevy's.
I've had some fun nights, margarita nights at Chevy's.
Oh, they those big fucking margaritas for like $6
for happy hour margaritas.
Oh my god.
Oh man, remember when drinks used to cost me? When you could get a happy hour drink for like $6? Wow, shit.
It was funny. Being in Oregon for my dad's birthday, because we went out to like the steakhouse the first night. We went out to this amazing place called Kennard in Portland the next night, and my dad like made a couple of comments about how much drinks cost. I'm like, buddy, this is so fucking cheap. You have no idea.
Wait, did you say Kennard, Zach?
Yeah. Oh god damn it!
Walked right into that one. But
how much were the drinks? Zach,
$9.
And your dad was like, "What the fuck?"
He was like, "What?" He's like, "What?" Well, my dad's also a cheap cheap.
Yeah. Did you hit you with a back in my day?
Your dad remembers when they were 50 cents for.
I was like, Dad, this would be $17 in LA. Like easily.
The reason why I flew up to you.
Yes.
I had a $12, or I was at lunch with my dad and his friends, and his friend got a $12 Modelo. So I'll tell you what, man, it's whatever you can charge for it. I feel like they have Modelo on draft. I'm like, please, for the love of God, get something local.
I feel like beers aren't like a cost effective option anymore. At least maybe in like bigger cities, right?
For sure not. For sure not. I mean, I don't think any alcohol is.
No, but
especially beer for the amount of like alcohol that you're getting.
Yeah, the amount of alcohol content versus the cost.
If you go to a bar and you get Budweiser or Pabst, that's cost effective.
Yeah,
Lone Star, that's still cost effective. But yeah, almost every beer in San Francisco is at least $8, and almost every wine is like 15, 16, 17. Cocktails anywhere from like 12 to 18. It's just hard out here to to have a cocktail that someone else pours for you.
Especially also sometimes when like I definitely do the math of like what is in this cocktail and is it mostly alcohol actually? Because if it's not, it's getting like a bunch of filler and it's like a one tiny shot of alcohol and then it's like I'm paying $18 for like half a shot. Like or
you're looking at a $12 non-alcoholic cocktail.
Oh my God! Why are non-alcoholic cocktails so expensive?
It's hard to keep the alcohol out. Like it's hard.
Yeah, you got to find it.
It's a whole straining system.
You actually have to extract it. Yeah,
it's a lot. It's so
like in
much.
Water World when he's turning his piss back into water.
Eden, you're paying for the labor.
Got it.
So I was contemplating. Like I think I still might. I'll just be super high, but I was thinking about going, to a bar to watch the games tonight, and not do anything. But I'm a little worried about people talking to me.
Oh no, Zach!
I'm a little worried.
Have you made it through the week without making a friend so far?
Plus,
they're all waiting for him
because I've been locked in my apartment for a week.
Yeah,
they're all waiting.
You went Howard Hughes on their ass
at the coffee shop this morning. This dude just like
was
passing comment. No, just passing comment. He didn't stop or anything, but he looked at me. I was sitting out there with Boogie, just drinking my coffee, and he walks by me. He said, "Hey, love your work," and then kept moving. And I wasn't sure. Like I don't know if he
found your
thought it was me. I don't know if he thought it was somebody else. But I was like, "Fuck." Well, one, super appreciative. Like that's a very nice thing to hear.
Yeah.
But also, fuck.
Yo, Zach, it's only a matter of time, Zach, until
Preston?
Oh no.
What's going on, man?
You're gonna get dapped up left and right everywhere you go.
I just want to go somewhere and get drunk
where nobody knows your name.
Not talk to anybody. I went where no one knows my name and fucking 3 people met me.
I don't understand it. I still
just want to be left the fuck alone.
Having witnessed it, it's amazing. It's fun watching it in the wild.
Oh God,
yeah, Mo
the worst.
Mo is now strategically positioning himself to where Zach has to make.
I will always make sure Zach's near the stranger. I will always
Mo's boxing Zach out to get the inside.
I'm bringing
booth.
fucking like can headphones from now. I'm just having them on the whole
AirPods
time.
Max.
Yes, I'm getting those.
You need that like ice beanie that Amin has. Just pull it down over your eyes.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
No one can make eye contact.
And if like people
you.
talk, you're just like noise cancellation. Can't hear. I'm on a call, actually.
Sorry, I'm on a call. Yeah, and I just make my call. I'm like, every day for me is just pretending I'm in an Uber on a call.
Anton Ham 16 Ham says, when do you choose to eat the best part of your meal? Beginning, middle of the meal, or the very end?
I wait last.
I save it for last. Usually, like I will have like a one perfect bite of like whatever, like the best bite I feel like of whatever meal I'm eating is. But I do sometimes overdo it to the point where it's like
you got to get to the good part and then
But then it's like sometimes I'm like, if I've been eating too slow, sometimes if there's people talking, I get distracted, and then it's like I start filling up, and then I can't enjoy that last bite as much as if I'd eaten it in a timely manner. So
I feel you on this.
It also, like, I don't want it to get cold.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like sometimes it gets cold and the quality diminishes.
Right. So it's almost like there's like, I think a fine line where it's like you have to hit it at the right moment, and it's got to be different per meal.
Have you done this thing where like you'll get 2-3 tacos, right? And you'll eat one and then you eat the next one and you're like, fuck, the first one was better. I should have saved that one for that. Yeah.
Whenever, especially when getting different tacos, you're like,
yes. Yeah. You're like, what? You're trying to like, all right, what's my rotation here? Like,
like
how am I going to win the fourth quarter with this rotation?
Like, do I try one bite of each first? But then, it's like sometimes like the palate messes up. If the flavors get mixed up, I'm like, that doesn't make sense. So you really have to try to make that evaluation and save that best taco for last. But
Zach's eating tacos like Joe Mazzulla.
100%. And if I fuck it up, I'm just saying,
eat that taco last. God damn it! And then you go back and you do the exact same thing again, man.
Oh man,
no adjustments.
So what's the best? What's the taco that you would eat last in that situation that you're describing?
Oh yeah, what are the options also first?
So you know what's so probably al pastor, because I think that keeps the longest. If I get a lengua taco, that's got to go first, even though I want it the most. Because the lengua, you got to get through it.
Yeah,
it's going to tear through the tortilla. Like you got to get into it.
I usually just do carne asada anyway, so it's not like I just keep it. Yeah, obviously there's some options that are not Mo friendly, so I have to stay. So I don't get to venture into it. But just going to the taco truck, just hit me with 3 carne asada tacos if I'm really hungry for. Maybe I'll throw a chicken one in there.
But even then, sometimes. That
one taco was better than the other.
Better than the third one.
But
the fourth one was
that's also in my control because that's Eden saying, like, is this me putting the salsa on? Which one? Because like I'll get the 4 different ones. Throw one on this one. Throw one on this one. One on this one, and then combo on the last one.
But even if they're all the same, there's always one that's better.
Yeah, for sure.
There's always one that's better than the other.
It's like one, like the tortilla was better toasted or something. Like,
Guess I'm getting tacos tonight.
No, I'm like, fuck.
I'm getting a fuckload of tacos today. What can only be described as a fuckload.
It kills me because my favorite taco truck is too far. Like, that's my biggest problem. It's like, it's too far from where I'm at. I actually go to him, Zach, every time I go to Sergio.
Yeah,
the one you told me about. Yeah.
That's the one I go to, and it's just like I even now, like, I'm craving tacos. I want to go to El Russo Taco, but I'm I can't do that.
Daniel LaRusso Tacos.
What's the one?
The karate taco?
Jalisco Jalisco. You know that one?
Yeah.
That one's got the best shrimp tacos for sure. It's kind of downtown. I guess that's not too far from
How much is a taco over there for you guys? I'm just curious.
I mean, you can get them for a couple bucks. Yeah.
$3.
Yeah. Average though, like
for my taco truck, like a good taco, probably $3.
So I've been furiously working on adding this to the soundboard rotation.
Ham.
Yes.
Ham.
There it is.
Oh my god.
Ham.
I do love the way she says ham.
They do love it.
Ham.
I will start by eating
when they're singing in the tunes of music they don't have the rights to, just to argue so it won't go on TV. That's such a fucking funny little bit in that show. Sorry, I didn't mean I love that
I've
show.
also been deep in the fake Janis Joplin part.
Oh my god, that's so funny.
They keep changing her name brutally and then having her sing weirder and weirder versions of the song. I like to eat the best part of my meal. I like to take a couple bites off the top, and then I'm probably working my way around the plate, and then I'm coming back for the home stretch.
It seems like the best move, actually. I think I want to start implementing that.
So I knew I was only going to be able to eat once yesterday, just with how the day was going, and so I got Popeyes, and I went around the board where had the mashed potatoes and gravy, had a little bit of mac and cheese, saved the chicken sandwich for last, ate the spicy chicken sandwich last, and I was I'm not gonna lie, was a little full as I hit the end of that sandwich, but it was the right decision. Yeah.
Right. That was the right order.
You gotta love when the last thing you saved is so good that you're gonna power through no matter how full you are too.
But I knew the sides had to go first, and then
you gotta get the mashed potatoes have to go first.
God.
Yeah, like I made some salmon the other night, and so I like started by eating the salmon. I had a couple bites of salmon, and then I went to the Brussels and the asparagus, and then I had some salad, and then I came back to the salmon, and then I finished off the vegetables. And then I saved some salmon for last. That was probably the approach. I used to be rigorous about eating one thing at a time and being like, I am eating all the Brussels now, or I am eating my mashed potatoes now. And I've started mixing it up a little bit more, going back and forth. But
my only thing is I need to eat the salad first. When I get the plate with the salad and whatever, like I just want to get the salad done.
Out of the way.
Yeah. Is it a chore?
No, it's fine, but it's not like
it's not exciting.
But like for me, it's like I want the main. I want the good stuff. Yeah. Well, no,
not specifically. Not him.
Mo definitely always wants the.
But like I want that. I want the other stuff, and to me, like salad's like
Mo wants the. Oh shit! God, I hate when that happens. God, that's so annoying. Oh, that's the worst when I push the button and I get the emergency caution sign. All right. Well, the one exception, though, is burger and fries. You got to eat the fries first.
Yeah.
Because they're time sensitive.
Yeah. Yes.
Even if I want the burger more.
Also, the fries in the car. Like if it's a drive-through situation.
Possible, yeah.
You got to eat. That's getting eaten in the car.
Because it's just the fries only get worse the longer you wait.
There are times because like my parking space is near the dumpster. Like it's like a short little walk, right? Oh. And so there are times where the golden dumpster. There are times where like I will grab something, I'll eat the fries on the way back. I'll get in my parking spot. I'm like, wow, garbage right there. I might as well just eat the burger here.
Yeah, might as well just finish it here.
I house it in my car and then just drop it off on my way in.
And also, to clarify, is this the parking spot that someone tried to buy?
Yes, that Rusty tried to buy. Yeah.
Okay.
Also, a lot of the time,
did he ask for a discount because it was by the dumpster?
He didn't even give me a price, man. He didn't. It's bad negotiating, you know.
A lot of the time, once I pick up the burger, it's not getting put down.
Yeah,
because of structural integrity and mess.
Yes. Yo, there was this one time. There was this insanely good burger called Rolo's in Queens somewhere. My friend, like he legit like turned around, was eating like 2 bites of something else, and I had like just inhaled the burger because it was so one of those that was so messy, like it was so good. Like it's like the burger juice is like dripping off. There's like caramelized onions and like it's like all falling apart. There's like the special honey mustard with like the seeds that you can see. It's so good. But it was like the second I picked it up, I knew that there was not a situation where I was going to put it down and then pick it back up again and have to deal with the situation that was on in my hands, literally in my hands. Yeah. So it was just like, I just have to inhale this burger because it's the only option.
I don't super like burger, one hand, complete disaster sauce situation, going lefty with the fries, I don't like the double hand action. I prefer to separate it a little bit. But
burgers
what I was
and
trying
burritos.
to play earlier was
potatoes.
There we go. Look at that. We're back. We got
potatoes.
We're on our way to a fully balanced meal, except for Mo.
Yeah, I'm just having the potatoes.
So Paul Mooney's wine pouch says, with Shogun about to finish, do you have a favorite FX TV show? So I know what Zach's going to say. There it is. The Shield.
Every time, man.
But
best show they've ever done.
FX has racked up a pretty good resume over the years. So starting with like The Shield and Nip Tuck in like the early 2000s, they've gone on. Obviously, there's Sunny. There's
that's a good point. I forget. Yeah.
Fargo. Sons of Anarchy, The Americans.
Oh, The Americans, that was a good one.
The Bears, technically an
American Horror Story. American Horror Story.
American Horror Story, Better Things, What We Do in the Shadows. I mean, there's a lot of good FX shows. But in terms of favorite, I mean, Atlanta is up there as well. I still have never watched The Shield. I remember my dad watching it when I was a kid and loving it. And then
does it hold up, Zach? Like, can you watch it now?
It's pretty dated with stuff because it's all like pre-smartphone shit. But it's still really good drama. It is essentially just a period piece now.
Period piece,
right?
yeah. You know, I'm not gonna lie. I remember when I first tried to watch The Wire and they busted out a flip phone. I was like, never mind.
It's crazy,
I can't do it. I'm sorry, I just can't.
In the first season of The Sopranos, they're still going to payphones.
Yeah,
a lot.
Same in The Wire, right? They're still using payphones heavy.
Yeah.
Justified was a good show.
Justified also needs to be mentioned for sure.
I really liked Nip Tuck and I really liked American Horror Story the first few seasons for sure. Like at one point I stopped watching it for no other reason than I just stopped watching it. But like I was pretty big into American Horror Story, like, and no one's surprised by that.
I can't believe they're still making them, man. I can't believe Kim Kardashian was in one.
Oh, she was?
Yeah, she's in the current one.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know.
But because it's an anthology, like, you don't need to. You watch the ones you like, and there are some good ones for sure.
There are some good ones, but also like I think I remember one season that I just fell off of is because I'm just like, you're just trying to bring all the universes together at this point. And that's not I would rather it just be standalone. I don't need the crossover. I don't need the references. I don't need you guys to bring the witches back from season 3. Like just do an original season. Like a little bit of crossover and callback, like those are nice. But like when it feels like that was the intent, it just felt lazy to me, I guess. So yeah.
Maze, what did you think of the Marvel show they had? I forget the name of it, but
Legion.
They did a show. Legion.
I like Legion a lot. I really like the first season. I think it fell off a little bit season 2 and 3, especially 3. But I thought the first season was super good, and I really liked it a lot. That's Noah Hawley, who also did all the Fargos. I think I'm going big 3. I'm going Sunny because of longevity.
Yeah,
unmatched.
That has to
be that's 1B for me. Yeah,
and then I'm going Atlanta because I think they gave us 3 or 4 seasons eventually of really top tier shit spread out.
Could never get into
over the years. And then for my third one in the top 3, tough one here, man. I think I'm gonna go with The Bear just because it's ongoing. I mean, we haven't seen the end of it yet, but I do really like it. And then the other one I want to shout out is You're the Worst, which was a really good show.
That was a great show.
4 or 5 seasons, very underrated. It was comedy leaning, but it definitely got serious, and it was just great cast that no one had ever heard of. Really well written, really fun. I like that show a lot.
I appreciate that FX shows though don't have like a crazy long run, right? Like 5 seasons, like cool, I can go watch You're the Worst and watch that. It's not like a thing where it's like, oh god, this is 10 seasons. Like they kind of keep it pretty concise.
I was going to ask that about The Bear. Are they going to wrap it up or are they going to drag it out? Because it's going to start sucking if they do. Because you guys know my take on this. If shows are written to be continued, they're not going to be good anymore.
Yeah, I mean, we're going into season 3.
3 would be perfect. 3 would be perfect.
I think it might be a 4-season show. That would be my guess right now. But
so they'll drag it out for one longer than it should go. But yeah.
Yes. I mean, according to the Minister of Efficiency, they are on the clock and their days are numbered. And
Minister of Efficiency does not get to decide the length of seasons of shows. We'll leave it at that. That's the line.
If the writing gets inefficient at some point and it becomes filler and we start getting
her. She's just doing her goddamn job.
And I'm creating boundaries.
We're taking away Mo's executive power here.
The
Apparently,
efficiency of the writing is going to fall off, and you're just going to have filler episodes. So I'm just saying.
Every season has filler episodes, and every show.
I hear what you're saying, Eden. I'm not super worried about that for this show yet, but we have to see the 3rd season. I think the 3rd season definitely has plenty to do. And I could see them coming up with a 4th season fairly easily, but
sure.
But yeah, I mean, it's kind of like what is the story you want to tell? Because they've done such a good job of it up to this point. Is the 3rd season going to leave you in a place where you feel like you don't need anything else, or is there something else they're trying to get at? That's the question. But a 1-season show that should meet Eden's Minister of Efficiency standards was Shogun, which is a limited series. It's done.
Thank you.
Despite the fact that it seemed like they were trying to make it a Game of Thrones-esque, bigger picture, longer running situation, they did wrap it up. It is done. And I thought the final episode, the last episode, was a pretty good housekeeping episode, Zach, because obviously most of the drama happened in episode 9. And so episode 10 was really like picking up the pieces and letting you know how it's going to play out and kind of like what's to come without going, without flashing forward 10 years, 5 years, whatever.
Yeah.
But what was your takeaway? So you watched the whole show in like 2 weeks?
About 2 weeks, yeah. I mean, it's just really good, right? Like there are a couple of like lulls in the show and everything, but it just set everything up well. It's a little tough with certain shows where the second to last episode is like the big one, right? Like that episode was the best one of the series.
It was crazy.
And I saw some people mad at the finale, and I get that on some level. Because you want it to go out with a bang. I also I just fucking hate John Blackthorne so much. I hate everything about him. I hate everything about his face. I mentioned this on, I think, the live stream yesterday for Cinephobe, but I hate the way he stands. I hate the way he looks. I hate the way his facial expressions are. I hate the way he looks in Japanese clothing. I hate the way he walks. I hate everything about him bothered me so much. Horrible accent, horrible actor, horrible character. I hated all of him. And there are times where I'm like, they're trying to lead me towards rooting for him, and I will not do it. Mariko, root for her all day. One of my favorite characters, probably of the last 5 years of any show. She was such a badass. She was so good. But I wrapped it up pretty well. Finale wasn't my favorite, but overall, I could not recommend that enough to everybody. That show was brilliant. It was so well made. Big time Game of Thrones vibes, as you guys had said previous. You know me, I'm always in Japan, so the culture spoke to me. It's nice to know where my roots are from now.
Pretty much live there, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm there now. This is just it's what it is. But
virtual background of your apartment in LA, yeah.
That acting is the acting throughout that entire cast was so fucking good, so good. Everyone Toranaga's son, I can't remember his name, but whoever that guy is who did that act, I can't imagine someone playing that role more perfectly, of just the hope to be a warrior, the hope to be someone and to prove himself and to grow up faster than he needs to and everything. That whole thing was just so good. Every character was great.
Yeah, his son was Nagakato, who,
except for Blackthorne, who's a piece of shit,
was exactly like you said. He's so ambitious and ambitious to the point where he can be so easily manipulated and exploited, as he was several times throughout the show, because he's ready to. You give him an inch, he takes a mile, and he'll take a mile and make a huge mistake, and then his dad is like, "You got played. What are you doing? You got to recognize that these people are manipulating you." I think the first thing that was so impressive about it was the scale and detail of the production.
Oh, how much did that show cost?
It was a crazy big investment by FX, and they shot it in Vancouver, which looked pretty good. It looked it looked good enough and medieval enough Japan to match, they're not obviously not, it's not an island, things like that, but they did a good job of making Canada blend into being another location. But they built all the buildings from scratch, clearly. Costume design was off the charts. you got the vibe that they were there. And then when they did have to lean on CGI, with most notably the scale of Osaka, I thought they mostly executed it.
It looked pretty good. Like you could tell it was CGI, but it looked pretty good.
And they didn't, they don't need that a lot for the most part. It's like people talking in rooms. And I did think it was funny how much time we spent in that fishing village. It's like
that was interesting.
Probably 6 episodes in this fishing village.
Save a little budget there. Yeah.
We got Osaka, we got Edo, which becomes Tokyo. But no, let's hang out in this fishing village.
It's crazy that I recognized the Osaka castle. Like I went to it when I was in Osaka.
Nice.
And awesome. I could see like the walls and stuff. I'm like, oh shit, that's because I actually read about it on like, I don't know, some big plaque or some like poster or some kind of like touristy thing when you're there. And it's like the years it got burned down and then the years it got rebuilt by this, emperor or whatever, and like burned down again by attackers in like 1742 and then built back by 1778 and so it was just kind of like I'm like holy shit, like I recognize that entire terrain now, except just no office buildings around it
there. And then there was the dedication to Japanese culture, which this was a book written by a white person, and the miniseries from 1980 was heavily skewed towards John Blackthorne's perspective. And it's like,
right.
They didn't even, I don't even think they translated or put subtitles for the Japanese characters. You were really in his POV like the whole time. And this show took almost the entire opposite. There were episodes where John Blackthorne didn't do shit. And he shows up and he yells, "Let me get my boat back." And they're like, "No." And that's the end of his
my boat.
But I see it's been another month. Give me my boat. Where are my men? Where are my men? And then when he goes and finds his men, they're just shit faced.
Yeah, and Osaka, pieces of shit.
Or in Edo, they've been keeping them in Edo. They're clearly like iron deficient because they've just been eating sushi the entire time, like Zach when he was abroad. And they're drunk and they're harassing prostitutes and courtesans. I mean, it was
what we do.
It's great, but they brought in Hiroyuki Sanada as an executive producer, and he was adamant that they cast Japanese speaking people, and he was really pushing like the emphasis on culture, and it showed, it paid off. Yeah. And so there's 2 things that I really was stuck on. One is seppuku and the fascination with killing yourself and death, and the way that it's the utmost honor to commit seppuku.
Yeah. But it's also like so fascinating that then they had been indoctrinated into Christian culture enough to where you can't, like, you got to gut yourself, but then someone's got to chop your head off, right? Like you need a second that way, because if you kill yourself, you don't get into heaven. Like that whole part of it was fascinating. And it was like, because I'm thinking like, what a fucked up thing to do to a person that's so close to you, right? To make them chop your head off. But then like, obviously there was honor in that, because like, well, no, we got to make sure that they get to heaven. And like that whole thing was just like so fascinating every time it came up.
My guy Buntaro with one of the toughest looks ever in any episode of television, episode 8, where he comes to his wife. Okay, so Eden, I'm going to paint you a picture here, all right? This guy, he comes to his wife, who he's had a pretty tough relationship with the entire show and before the events of the show. And she's been begging him to let her kill herself for, I don't know, a decade, because she feels this tremendous shame from her father assassinating another guy, and like she's carried this legacy with her since her childhood. And so Buntaro comes to her and he's like, Mariko, my wife, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's kill let's kill ourselves together. Let's go into the afterlife hand in hand. You know, I've seen the error of my ways, or like I've thought about it, and I've decided like we should do this together. And she's like, I would rather live forever than die with you. Rough.
She did not want to die with him. Yeah, that is the ultimate.
Look on his face.
That is the ultimate.
You'll see this meme everywhere.
Rejection.
Like over the like, oh my god.
Yeah, and that's one, like the memes the memes from Shogun are off the charts. Like everything Fuji does in every scene, all of her reactions. She's got the best tea sipping meme ever.
Oh my God.
I'll send that in the chat.
Who's the guy? Who was the guy that, like, the main right hand man who kept flip flopping? What was his name?
Yabushige.
There's one of him just saying, I hate this fucking city or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, it's just
they're rolling up on Osaka. He's like, fuck this place. God, this fucking city's trash. But so then after Buntaro is rejected from committing seppuku with his wife, right? It's not so like one, he's trying to kill himself.
Yeah.
Two,
so things
his
are going
wife
well.
Says, nah, dog, I'd rather live than die with you.
I'd rather live with this shame forever than be with you.
Unbelievable.
Even though she wanted to die.
She's wanted to die
for the last 10 years.
He's like,
forever.
you know what? Finally, we'll do it together. He's like, no, fuck that.
No. Oof,
so then he goes to the big council meeting, and his boss, Lord Toranaga, the big dog, everyone's disagreeing with him. It's a tough situation. And so Buntaro's dad, Toranaga's right-hand man, Toranaga's main dude, says that he will commit seppuku and makes Buntaro be his second. So after being rejected by his wife, he then goes to a meeting and his dad is going to kill himself, commit seppuku. And Buntaro says, "Can I commit seppuku with you?" And his dad says, "Nah, bro, you gotta cut my head off."
Wants to die.
He's trying his best. He's going around looking at all of his options, being like, "Somebody, please just let it end with me."
This is the manual. This is like, these are the steps I can take to get the fuck out of here. This is what's allowed, and no one's like, "Yeah, you don't get that approved. We're not doing that." This poor guy, man,
unbelievable.
Also, he was like, everyone thought he was dead, right? Like everyone thought he was dead. So his wife, who thought she was a widow, been sleeping with people, and then finds out he's alive. She's like, "Fuck, I've been committing adultery." So she's got shame in that.
And then there's like a drinking. He had a crushing,
he went
devastating
through it.
run.
Went through it.
He gets shit faced, drinking sake and brings shame to himself. He learns out that he finds out he's being cucked by a white man.
Yeah.
Like it's all bad for Buntaro.
Who they just think of as the barbarian.
Yes.
They always refer to him as the barbarian.
Yes.
Because they're like, this dude fucking sucks.
But yeah,
which he does.
Then after twice being denied,
poor kid,
to kill himself by his wife and his father, he has to cut his father's head off, and then I'm pretty sure he lives.
Existing?
He's still alive.
He lives.
Yeah, he's still alive at the end of the show.
He can't commit. He can't commit suicide without someone to be there for him.
And despite being advanced in a lot of ways, Japanese culture does not have therapy. So my man Buntaro is just internalizing all of this, and it's not going to work out for him. But the other thing that I wanted to talk about was the rigor of decorum and like the way that, what's the word that I'm trying to think of? Like everything has to be done a certain way. There's protocol.
Yeah.
So,
dude, I was so nervous about that. I mean, I am so nervous about that in Japan right now. Like that, because I don't want to be the obnoxious shithead American tourist more than I already am.
Yeah,
right. Exactly. I don't want to be the barbarian, and you can tell like, and they don't force that on you because they know like this is not a guy who lives here.
Anjin,
Anjin Anjin. Oh shit, that's what that means. But they're like clearly all doing it within their lives and with their customs and everything. So they're making, you see it and it's just like, all right, I'm doing something wrong here. They're not going to tell me. Like they're not going to ever tell. But I'm like, I know I'm doing shit wrong.
They're too polite. They're too polite.
Yes, they're too polite. But they believe in like this honor and these modes of doing things in a certain way so much. And I'm just like, please just don't.
Sorry, I'm
let
the clueless.
me offend you in some way.
Yeah, there are crazy rules and levels of honor and principle that must be observed. I mean, first episode, Toranaga gets brought in front of this council and they essentially are telling him he's a prisoner and insulting him to his face. And one of his homies, one of his soldiers, steps up and is like, "This is bullshit," in the council meeting. And then he has to commit seppuku and kill his firstborn son because he dared to speak up out of turn in the council meeting. And it's not even like someone else is telling him that he has to do this. He knows.
He just does.
Almost instantly, he's like, "I have brought shame to Toranaga-sama. I'm done. I'm cooked." And then his wife has to watch this happen. And then Toranaga's like, "By the way, now you have to babysit the white guy and take care of his house.
Consort for the barbarian.
You're his consort. Do this for me for like a year."
It's wild.
Life was so weird back in the day when there were emperors. I just don't understand. Like, what were we doing back then?
It's
crazy.
But it's one thing to have like a dictator style emperor, a monarchy, whatever, who's giving crazy orders all the time.
But it's always this ridiculous structure of honor.
It's
that
a
is
code. You must do this because of this. And even Lord Toranaga, even the other lords are subject to this protocol. So the whole linchpin of the whole show, right? You're like,
no one's above it. No one's above the code.
You can't get out of it. And other people will hold you accountable, and other people's allegiances will be swayed.
If you're not going to kill yourself, I'll kill you for you.
And they have to find a way to get revenge on people or attack their enemies, but within this code. So they're like, okay, well, in order for this to be okay, I have to make sure this, and this happen. Like it's so fascinating.
So the big climax, Eden, is like the whole season, or at least from the midpoint, we're talking about Crimson Sky, right? Like Lord Toranaga's like, "Oh, it's time for my big plan, Crimson Sky." And it sounds like, a military attack. Like maybe make it rain arrows or something like that. Like Crimson Sky, that sounds badass. What does Crimson Sky mean? And so what Crimson Sky ends up being is he sends Mariko, who is she's the translator, but she's also like a lady in his court, and she's
basically like his right hand man.
Deputy.
Yeah. Like she holds a lot of power.
Right hand arm.
His right hand arm man.
Yes.
His silly rabbit.
She's his silly rabbit.
Yes.
His what? You gotta get that on the soundboard, man. I know you got a lot there, but you gotta get that on. His what?
His what? When clipped comes around, we'll definitely get a lot of use out of that. So he sends her into Osaka, where the enemy lord is holding up. He's got the whole council. Like he's essentially making a power play, right? And so she goes in there, and then she's under strict orders from her boss to bring his wife and consort and son home. And so there's this protocol that because she is on orders from him, if Ashido, who's the other lord, stops her from leaving, then now she is a failure because she's not upholding her orders.
End of the bargain.
So then she will kill herself. And so it's like, it's this fucking technicality,
vicious cycle of
knowing the CBA to a T. Right. Like, well, I submitted this request for this player or whatever. So it's like she catches Ashido in this essentially legal trap where if he denies her to leave, he's saying that everyone in Osaka is a prisoner. And if he does that, then he's going to lose the allegiance of the people who are there. And so she had to find a workaround. She tries to leave. Her like coterie of guards get killed. People are watching this shit from above, like the walls above.
What's that weapon, that staff with like the blade at the end?
Yeah, I mean, it's not just like a pike or like a spear or something like that.
It's not a spear because it's like a curved blade or whatever.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
When I'm watching this alone. Well, Boogie's with me, but I'm watching this alone. because it shows her like throughout the show practicing with this thing. You can tell like she's a badass.
She's going to use it, at some point, or hopefully.
She gets her samurais killed. Defending, like trying to force this point, right? And they're happy to do, like, they're like, yep, this is the job.
They know,
like, we're gonna
can't wait. Let's go.
So now it's just her left. Someone runs up and gives her the staff that you've seen her practicing with at all. And I was like, I was like, oh, these motherfuckers don't want this. Like I was just like, it was a sporting event. Like I was like, oh no, you fucked up. You fucked up.
You don't
and
want
she's
this.
battling, and then you could tell like she purposefully takes the L to like prove the point of. See, I guess we're all captors.
But she's fighting. She's fighting like 8 dudes at once, and they're trying not to kill her.
They're trying not to kill her, but trying to defend themselves. Like, it was such a badass fucking scene.
Nice.
And she's like walking. She's forcing their hand the whole way. She's walking, and they're archers that you can't see firing arrows by her feet, like purposely missing her to be like, "Hey, you're not allowed to do this. Like you got to turn back or like this whole thing.
Don't try me.
Like,
don't try me. Yeah.
Right. Like it's such a badass scene. Oh
it's
my
like, don't
God.
do it.
Yeah.
Don't do it. Yeah.
So the big episode 9, this is what we've been waiting for the whole time. It's not a big battle. It's literally mind games and manipulation of protocol and honor. And
it's
Mariko,
like chess at that point, right?
Gotcha.
Mariko, like she's the queen who sacrifices herself so that, just like a chess analogy, because I mean, I don't play chess, Zach, but they tell me I'd be great at chess. But when you sacrifice the queen, that's when
Rook 9, baby.
People think like, oh, well, I took your best piece, so clearly you're done.
That's,
but
I think that's what
I
it is,
baited you with that, and now I'm going to put you in checkmate. So it was very cool. And then like, there's some really good exposition in the show too. Like Yabushige's final scene with Toranaga, where he's like, please tell me how smart your plan was before I die.
Yeah.
Like, please. And
he's just dying
like,
to like get covered. Like, I know, like, I just need to know. I just need to know.
Oh, I'll go peacefully after this.
Yeah.
But it was a great show. I mean, it's.
Oh, dude, it's so good. So that's it, right? We're not doing
done.
another. They're just
done.
like it's a one and done. Yeah.
Good, good. I applaud them for this.
Yes.
Beautiful. One season, one story.
Yeah. Not that they left it open, but you could
do like a Shogun spinoff or something.
You could do a second season of just like, and here's the aftermath.
Well,
like loosely,
or they could have just stretched out.
Would be its own story. Hajima, no
could have
stretching
stretched out what happened in one season over 2. I think that could have easily happened.
Oh, they easily could have stretched, and it wouldn't feel like it, right?
No,
like,
and it's like like Lady
stuff.
Ochiba, who we talked about a little bit yesterday, that you really liked. Like she doesn't even show up till like episode 6 or something like that.
She's a badass too,
and she's awesome.
That's the thing.
So a lot of badass women is what I'm hearing.
Definitely.
Yeah, because it's interesting. Like the culture in the show, and I'm assuming this is how it is in real life, because it does seem very respectful of the culture. But the culture in the show is like all these women are subservient to the men.
Yeah.
And at the same time, hold so much power and influence over these like lords and like the top of the top. Yeah. And so Lady Ochiba is like this dude is, this lord is just dying to get her approval on anything he's doing. He's basically like, so yeah, I'm gonna make sure, Toranaga, like he's gonna have to come submit himself and kill himself. Like, you think that's a good idea, right? Like, that's I'm doing this right. Like, this is gonna work.
So it's like waiting for the validation.
She's like,
who's to say? The best is that she keeps everything so close to the vest that she never let him know shit.
She's just like, I mean, if that's what you feel is best, basically, is what her attitude is, and it ruins him. He is so insecure
because he just wants her. Yes,
nobody
that's a
else.
Great idea.
Everyone else, he's this badass, and with her, he's just like, I don't know, whatever you think, honey. I just want to, I just want you to marry me. So, like, if you want to marry me, like, I think that'd be great.
He's also in love with her, which helps.
Yeah.
But yeah, this lady Eden was, and I mean, this is it entirely. She was like a nobody who elevated herself to being the courtesan for the consort for the emperor, and she bore him a child after so many had failed. So then as the mother of the emperor's heir, the Taiko's heir, now she's got a crazy amount of power, and he dies. And then there's this other thing that's like kind of nuts, is like there's the Lord's wife, And then there's the Lord's consort, and they hang out. They have like a close relationship.
Things were weird back then. Because you guys know I've not watched this, but I've seen many historical dramas set in Japan, China, Korea. And I'm like, why are you guys best friends? It doesn't make sense. Does not compute. But do you?
Weird.
That's life then. That was life back then in the emperor days.
It's very poly. Very poly.
No, the culture was, it was very E&M.
Just in one direction, though, you know?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's before we even get into Kiko, who's like the concubine and the courtesan, like the best courtesan and
oh, the best courtesan.
The best courtesan.
Gotta love that.
The region, you know, putting up crazy stats. And like, yeah, she was great. She was an awesome character.
Rivals.com has her ranked as the number one courtesan.
MVP,
like it's just,
MVP of the season. You know, regular season MVP.
Year after year. Like we haven't seen a run like this in a long, long time. So it was a great show. There's a lot there. It's a high recommend. It's definitely my number one show of the year so far.
We'll see. All right.
We'll see what happens.
It's definitely the best show I've watched so far.
I
got a lot on my list. Wait, what were some of the ones you mentioned yesterday?
Yeah, what are some other ones on your homework list? Because if you don't assign it, it's not going to get watched.
So I have started Palm Royale on Apple TV. It's fun. I wish it was funnier. It's kind of like trashy. It's like Real Housewives of Palm Beach in the 60s. And it's Kristen Wiig and Allison Janney and Laura Dern and Leslie Bibb, and they're having a great time. And then Ricky Martin's in there looking fucking phenomenal.
Oh shit! Oh, I'm here for it.
Man, Ricky Martin.
First episode's 49 minutes.
Just as hot as he's ever looked in his life, and he plays the pool boy. I'll let you imagine what happens there.
Of course, he plays the pool boy.
Also most of these episodes in the mix.
Most of these episodes are 48 to 51 minutes. There is a 44-minute episode so far.
Super helpful. Thank you, Zach.
44-minute
I like Fallout a lot. That was a binge. It's already done. Eden,
is that you need to see the video game, or you need to have played the video game to appreciate it?
I liked it because there are elements of the video game that they did a really good job capturing, but I think the tone itself will carry it along. And like Walton Goggins is just on the heater of all heaters. He plays a really badass character with tons of one-liners, and
I don't know that there's a better role for him than what he played in The Shield.
For sure.
I'll just say that. Like, yeah, I mean,
and then he's rattled off Justified.
Great. Yeah. Baby Billy. He's got a hilarious recurring cameo character in Sons of Anarchy.
I mean, he's just, I don't think he's ever missed. And this is more of the same, but I think they did a good job with Fallout. Eden,
and where is Fallout? Amazon Prime. Where is it? Okay,
Prime. Yeah.
Eden, I think you will really like the Ripley reimagining, the Talented Mr.
That's
Ripley.
The one you mentioned. I gotta watch that.
It's on Netflix. It's Andrew Scott. I think it's 8 episodes, so it's obviously longer than the movie, and I think I'm not there yet. I'm only 3 in, I think, but I think they will go beyond what the movie did in terms of like post, because there's no replicating Jude Law in that movie. Jude Law and Gwyneth, like, probably the hottest yuppie couple ever put on screen, but
it's also been so long since I've seen this
on
movie.
This gorgeous black and white, amazing cinematography. Like,
so it's in black and white.
Highly cinematic. It's a beautiful show to look at. And I'm 3 in, and like the only thing that's holding me back from absolutely loving it is the fact that I know what's going to happen, and it's not new. It's a remake, you know. But I do think that they are doing some good stuff with it.
I don't remember shit from what happened in the movie when I watched it when I was like,
I gotta rewatch that movie too.
Yeah, I was actually.
That's a good movie.
I was thinking, should I rewatch the movie before watching? But now I'm thinking maybe I shouldn't.
No, watch the movie.
Watch the show first, and then maybe give the movie another spin. At the end.
I'm like, I know I've watched the movie, but like legit probably watched it within like 3 years of it coming out in what, like 1997 or some shit. Like, so I would have still been in high school, which
But yes, so I'm gonna try to pick that up. That's also all out, I think, because it's a Netflix show.
I'll check out at least 1 or 2 episodes of that for sure.
And then I haven't started these yet, but there's Sugar, the Colin Farrell show on Apple, and there's the Sympathizer, which is Robert Downey Jr. And it's, I believe,
RDJ.
Yeah, near the end of the Vietnam War, a plant who was embedded in South Vietnam Army flees to the United States and takes up residence in a refugee community where he continues to spy and report back to the Viet Cong. And Sandra Oh is in it. Robert Downey Jr.
I love Sandra Oh.
She's great.
A fan.
She's great.
So I haven't checked that one out. That one is week by week, and I think they are about to have their 3rd episode on Sunday. And then Sugar, I think, is probably up to 5 or 6 or something like that. But those are that's on my radar. And then I love Hacks. Hacks comes back May 2nd. I think that's a banger show, and I'm excited to see what they do on a 3rd season because I think it's been 2 years since that show's been on. That sounds right. Yeah, 2 years.
Rewatch. I'm sorry. That's such a fucking funny show. Or watch it.
It's just called I'm Sorry?
Yeah. It's on Max. It's Andrea Savage. She's one of the funniest people alive. I think it's only 2 or 3 seasons.
Okay.
But it's seriously it is her and her husband. I can't remember his name, but he's in Dead Man on Campus. He's been in a bunch of stuff. They are the perfect TV or movie relationship.
Gotcha.
They are exactly what I would want as a relationship. They're the best. Oh my God. I fucking love that show so much. And my guy Flame from Soul Plane, he's on the show. I see him at the coffee shop. I saw him this morning.
Oh, nice.
See him there.
Mark says that, Mark Ordner this time, says that he found that If I Were Gay, I Wouldn't Be Offended is from 6 Underground. Yeah. Pretty bizarre. Wouldn't have thought that myself. We are going to head to the Patreon, where we will continue this mailbag.
We should tease like a really out-of-pocket Ike question or something, even if we don't have one.
Yeah, Ike, where you at, dog? Where are the out-of-pocket questions at? You're just in here giving like sound advice?
Leadership advice, come
on.
What
the hell is, this isn't what we pay you for, Ike. That's not what we do. Hit us with a crazy-ass question so we can throw it in the Patreon and tease it. That's going to do it for us on the mailbag. For Mo, Eden, and Zach, I'm Anthony, and we'll catch you next time.
Bye.
Bye.